Hello, hey guys, welcome to another episode of You Asked, We Answered. So, for you guys who are joining us for the first time, so welcome to the first, and I would say one and only, right, episode whereby we're gonna talk about JB this round, right? So, if you guys are listening us for the first time, all right, so welcome. Most importantly, today's session is not just between us, but also for you guys to ask questions, right? So if you have joined our previous episode, okay, you should know that this session is actually more like an open style where everyone can actually ask any questions regarding this project. Be it today you want to ask about Exim, JB, how's the market, right? Feel free. And very importantly, I think later, right, we have our very own project analyst today, which later I will introduce to everyone. So if you guys got any questions, okay, she'll be addressing you. Hopefully, can give you some insight, okay, on what's happening with the market. And also, very importantly, if you guys have further questions that you want to ask, also feel free to comment below. All right, so as usual, before we start, all right, please allow us 2 minutes while we share the link out. Or if you have anyone who may also be looking at this project, okay, feel free to invite them, send them the link, okay. So while we're doing the setting up, just give us a minute. Okay, so while we are waiting, right, for more people to join in, maybe Amani, okay? So today we have our very own project analyst, Amani, here to show you guys more on this project. But before that, perhaps Amani, you can share a bit on yourself, okay, how you actually came about to become who you are today. And yeah, maybe you can also share a bit on what is your expertise and yeah, how come you'll be actually focusing in this area right now. I pass the floor to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Amani here. I'm been in this line about 7 years, start from May. So all the while doing project and sub-sales, now come back to project. So mostly I focusing more on JB town area. Sometimes we also go to Iskandar Putri area, Austin area lah. So, but more focusing on JB area, which is the condo, especially now after the announcements of RTS been very busy in this JB town. So today I'll share with you all what are all the projects in the surrounding and what's the pro and cons and analysis here, tips a bit lah.
Fantastic. Right. So I think I can't wait to start today's session. So for you guys who just joined, if you guys have any issue listening or perhaps you have issues with the videos, feel free to put in the comment. All right. So I think without wasting further time, let's start the session today. Okay. So before you guys give out any comment or before you decide to like or share this video, right? Just let you guys know what is the main goal of the session. So this session is called You Ask, You Answer. We're actually doing this on a monthly basis. So if you guys have never watched our previous video before, no worries. So actually, our ultimate goal for this session is to give our followers a chance to ask any question, okay, regarding this project. So if you guys are actually looking at JB right now, or you still don't know which project is suitable for investment, or probably you may have heard of this project, okay, in JB right now, and you don't know whether is this the right investment for you. Don't worry, we got you covered because we have our money, which you will share a bit of insight. Okay, so as usual, we will start with the first questions. So if you guys have any, feel free to comment as well. Right, so here we have one question by Mr. Peter here, all right? And Mr. Peter is actually one of our House Malaysia follower, and he asked about, okay, so with the upcoming surge in new project launches in JB right now at this point, okay, could the increase in supply, okay, of all the new projects actually will affect the return on investment for this particular project, which we will be discussing, called the J Square by Exim. All right, so what do you think, Amani?
Of course, when there's a supply, then there will be a competition. As an investor,
Yes.
there won't be a panic. So you have to serve with the pivot. So for here is all about location. Location near RTS and SEZ area, for sure, there will be a massive upside. So when you want to have a strong ROI in this JB area, you must look at the location, where
Yep.
and why you want to invest. So of course,
Mm.
this will be the best place lah, as I recommended. So in here, I categorize it to three area lah. Three area which we can categorize to three. So maybe can share some slide with you guys. Okay, wait.
Wow, I
Okay.
see that today have prepared a lot for us. Very good.
Yeah, a few slides so that you all can visualize and hear. So first will be
Yes.
those walking distance to this RTS. Okay, of course,
Yes.
there are few for you to choose. Will be Tri-Tower, Twin Tower, of course, just next to RTS. And a bit further apart, just 600 meter, we have SKS Pavilion. Second category, we have those with link bridge to CIQ and RTS. By the time the CIQ we will link with this RTS, and the project that we have here is, of course, Genrise and Coronation Square. Okay, and the third one will be with link bridge plus a mixed development. There will be RF Princess Cove and the upcoming Exsim J Square.
I see.
Okay.
Wow, I see that quite a lot of new launches here, but it's interesting to find out that actually there are three types. So actually, just a curiosity from me. Okay, so out of these three, right? So which one is the best?
Okay, actually, if you see the current trend here, even in KL, the lifestyle of every youngsters is they're very stressed and then very into this hectic lifestyle. So and then they, especially in Singapore, they tend to be OT until 9 p.m. So they want a more convenient lifestyle. So want something that which they can buy and settle everything downstairs. Like if when we like Princess Cove, although is the most far from this CIQ with link bridge, and then got some voices behind, but then there is still a lot of people look for it, and the rental is ahead, and even can be matched better than Tri-Tower, Twin Tower, because they have this giant grocer, mama store, and all the restaurant below, and also DIY. So this one, it will ensure your rentability high. That's why it's the most preferred at this moment.
I think one thing quite caught me by surprise was that I actually made a trip to INF like 4 months ago, right? And that was end of last year. So what is one thing that surprises me was that the crowd and the shops that opened within this period of 2 to 3 months, right, was so fast, and a lot of shops has opened, and I can see the white is quite happening right now at this point. Yeah, so I can really sense what you said, because when I was there were quite a lot of people as well, just came back from work, and then they actually just makan, buy things at the the mall below. Yeah, so interesting. Okay, so on this, right, since Mr. Peter here, okay, asked about the increase in supply, right? So let's say, for example, today as an investor, money, since now you have labeled three types, right? And you mentioned also like most people nowadays are looking for that convenient aspect. Okay, in that case, right, because I see that you mentioned about F and this Exim J Square. Okay, can you share a bit more on probably like for J Square in particularly, since today we are discussing about J Square, right? Based on your experience about their past project, do you see any mixed development concept by them that actually done well?
Yes, there is actually in Old Kent Road, they have one which is the Miller Square, which is now doing very well and at the highest rental return, which they have another project which is just nearby, about 100 meter nearby, but very low density and selling higher. But then the rental will quite apart different. From Miller Square, they also have a lot of this shop lot below. So they have this Bila like giant grocer like that, which they open until very late night, and also other restaurant shop, HWC, even Japanese shop, and then food court upstairs also have. So that's why it will bring up the rentability there with this all the shop below.
Okay, great. So I think in that case, for those of you guys who are not so familiar with Miller Square, probably you can actually search around. I think it's a good example, okay, that from there you can actually see what is the mixed payment concept about. Lah. All right, so I think the next questions that we're going to address right now is actually by Mr. Yong. Okay, so Mr. Yong here, right? Okay, just give me a minute. Let me pull it up, right? Okay, so I think he's more focusing on the layout here. So basically, he's asking, like, okay, so what type of layout actually we are seeing with the strongest demand right now near CIQ? So how will you address this, Amani?
Okay, actually, most popular is you can say either studio or one bedroom. Of course, one bedroom is more popular. It's more popular for the young singles, couples, and young professional, which they want more privacy and very convenient to this RTS. So for when we open during the after COVID, these are the things that people look for at the first place. And even before the tenant go out, already have someone already lined up and confirm the demand here.
Wow.
And then secondly is the dual key. Dual key is provide you flexibility where you can rent out for both two different tenants, or you can stay at one, then another one rent out. So a lot of people quite like this concept lah.
Okay. But I'm just curious, you mentioned about single and couple. Why not they just rent at Singapore since it's nearer? I mean, let's say example, if we really want to target the people working in Singapore, why not they just rent there?
Oh, I prepared the script for you to see this one. So can you pick up the screen there? Okay. Okay, you can see here for Singapore, they're actually renting for studio is between 2,005 Sing dollar to 4,000 Sing dollar. So with this price, you convert to Ringgit Malaysia 3.2. Actually, you can actually buy like semi-D or bungalow already in JB. So that's why a lot of them, after this, when the RTS is come, so the travel time from 2 hours, they can adjust to 6 minutes. Let's say you one-stop passport chop, let's say 15 minutes. So maybe maximum 20 minutes, 30 minutes, they can already come over. And then this LRT, it will link directly to this Singapore MRT system from this Thomson East Coast Line to other MRT and RT system in Singapore. So this one is very, very convenient, which will make the game changer. So why you still want to rent at Sing dollar and it's belong to others? So they after this they will even before this before the RTS come, they already started renting here because of the different exchange. And after the RTS come, for sure there will be more and more coming in to JB Town, especially those near RTS and CIQ.
But if let's say based on what you say, right? So as a buyer, in this case, if let's say I were to convert, let's say example, I were to look at the JB market, right? Why not then I just buy a landed? Why would I want to rent why would I want to rent let's say a studio in CIQ area? Actually, any difference to the tenants or not?
Actually, for landed is if you say town area landed, we don't have much land anymore for new development. So mostly town landed is already like 30 to 40 years. If you want to buy, you need to spend a lot for the renovation. Then the lawyer fee, stamp duty, you have to pay yourself. But then for foreigner, you can't buy the terrace or terrace corner. You have to buy like a semi-D cluster house title because of the cap by this government. So it's not really a good thing. Then secondly is if you buy landed, the cost will be very high. So if you want to rent out a what, so the ROI won't be there. And then if you buy further apart, so it will be a lot of plus travel time for those working in out because they already spend have to OT this and that, so they want this save time. Furthermore, in JB Town condo, especially those under construction, developer can ask for special approval. So for foreigner, they can buy below 600K. So for J Square, they be able to get this special approval, which buy the 600K and above in ringgit. So which is a much more attractive package and price.
Good. I think what you have covered, like especially on the threshold, I think that is quite interesting because I myself been focusing in KL for some time, and I can see that a lot of foreign investor, right, actually right now they are quite aware of this, and in fact they are start to comparing now, not just in KL, Penang, but also in JB market. So I think lowering down to 600K, in fact, is, I would say, one of the lowest entry price, not just in Malaysia, but also across the whole Southeast Asia, especially for as a foreigner, right? I think convert back to Sing dollar is about less than about 200 Sing dollar, 200,000 Sing dollar, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so right now let's go to the third question, right? So if you guys so far has learned something, or in fact, if Amani has addressed some of your concerns, right? Okay, feel free, okay, like I said, to like and share. And if you think that this video is something that is helpful, all right, you can also share it out, so that we hope that through this session, we can able to address our followers, the concerns and the questions that you have. Okay, especially for this upcoming very exciting new launch by Exsim called the J Square. All right, so let's go straight to the third question. Wow, and this question I think is talking about developer already. Okay, and Johnny here actually has this concern on JB where he realized that some developer has a risk of delivering bad quality, or in fact, I can say most of them concerned that what if that will affect the completion date. So in this case, Amani, how would then us as a buyer investor able to choose the right developer?
Actually, this is a very good question because most of the people, they only look at the location, they only look at the price.
Yes.
So if you get a bad developer, it's a long-term effect. So if you have quality issue, then leaking here, leaking there after just 3 years, how are you going to rent out? What is your rental prospect going to be? And then when you want to sell, what is your future price? So I've also do some analysis here, okay, whereby, okay, just a few example. Okay, so these are the one that is near to RTS. First, of course, you go for Sunway Group, which is from KL. It is just right above the RTS lah. So the project that they have in JB currently is Sunway Citrine and Emirate in Medini area. Okay, so they are listed, established listed company with a reliable handover and good quality also lah. Okay. Secondly, we have Majestic Group, which is the Gen Rise, which I mentioned earlier with Link Bridge. Okay, also from KL, but they are very new in JB, and also in fact quite new in the market. They only have a few landed house project done so far in Semenye lah. And then it's more on the mid-range project and normal pricing, good pricing actually. So INF Princess Cove is from China, Guangzhou. Okay, this is their first project in RNF, and then already have phase 1, phase 2. It's a huge project with a lot of units, and one good point is a waterfront location. So those who like sea view can look for them. Okay, and then for the Coronet Properties is from KL, is very new in the market. Their first project, you can say, is the Coronation Square in JB. It's a government-linked company with a few of investors lah. Okay, last but not least is the Exsim, which is from KL. I heard, I think most of the KL people have brought and heard about this developer, which they have a very strong record, and they have certified in this classic with their good workmanship and handover, like Scarlett's and Vivids lah. So they have a very good proven delivery record. These are all the 5 developers.
So actually, I can see that here there are several mix of some are township developer, like for example, somewhere I would term them as someone who focus on those integrated development, and I can see that some of the developer are more like the boutique style lah. So actually, based on the current situation, right? If let's say I want to know which developer actually, or which developer should I go for lah? Is there any tips that you can share besides looking at, like their
Yeah.
past project?
First thing is, of course, you see the developer background. Then you
Mm-hmm.
see what do they offer? Do they offer township or any mixed development? And third
Mm,
is, of course, the quality that proven given before this or any
mm,
delay project before. Like somewhere
mm.
is quite good in everything, but then is the entry point, the price will be quite high because of the premium branding, the name
True,
itself. Yeah,
true.
like Majestic is
Interesting. Yeah.
there's some feedback that there's on the quality not so good and a bit delay on some of the project lah. And I
Okay.
believe Princess
I think
Cove.
this one, I think this one we open to comment But like I said, this one
uh,
there's no right and wrong for this session. It's not actually we don't. I mean our sharing is more for in education purpose lah. So if you guys have any questions further that you want to ask, of course, we do have the comment box below, right? So okay, so I think before we talk further on that, right? So far, any question on hand, you can actually PM below lah. All right. So yeah, I think for developer side, yeah, definitely as an investor, we need to do our study to make sure that before you buy into the project, right? Try to identify what are the strength or in fact, all developers definitely there's always pros and cons. Okay, not to say anyone is perfect, right? So it's important that as a we say buyer or investor, right? Besides just checking their brochures or go to the show unit, which likely they will provide you the best looking, show house to attract you. I think it's more important that we also do some study, especially one of the things that like Amani mentioned here, every developer has their key strengths. Okay, so it depends also what type of project that you prefer and what type of tenant that you're trying to target. Okay, so let's go for the next question. Okay, so for the next question, right? Okay, so I think here is more focused on the layout lah. Because here, Sheila, one of our followers, asked about what are the suitable rental strategy, okay, for this project J Square.
okay, good question. Okay, so can share something here. Okay, so we have a choice of short-term rental or long-term rental. So for JB, we will have a lot of business travelers, medical tourists, and weekend visitors, especially from Singapore, which they want to shopping and spend in Ringgit Malaysia. So this one, you will have a higher rental income, more
Hmm,
flexible, but not so stable lah. Okay, so this one you have to get a reputable, reliable Airbnb operator to help you manage. While long term, we have a lot of Malaysian professional in out. They will look for affordable living here, more on this more comfortable lower range. So this one will give you a
hmm,
more stable income. Then no need like turnover. They will basically stay about 2 years, three
hmm,
years. Then only they move further to others. So as you see here, the Singapore there, just one station apart, they are renting 2,005 Sing dollar minimum for a studio. So just cross over, they be able to get like studio here. Now we are currently renting 2,004 Sing Malaysia ringgit. So it's like
hmm,
three times different. So I will strongly suggest for long-term tenants, whereby daily in out people from JP to Malaysia is actually reached up to 400K already
hmm,
daily.
hmm.
So this one is a very huge amount if you can cater those coming in. So with RTS coming up, it will definitely boost up the rental here in JB.
So actually, based on like what you share, right? So right now, the rental market in JB can still consider quite strong. Am I right to say?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So in that case, right, because just now you mentioned there's short term and long term, how would then, as an investor, to choose? Let's say, example, if I want to maximize my rental income, which one would be best, lah, in this case?
Actually, you can buy if you are affordable. You can buy. This is actually already a starting in trend before the RTS come. If you can afford like a more bigger one, okay, you can actually do the core living. Core living will give you
Mm,
a very big income. Like 3 bedroom, you can
mm,
change it to 4 bedroom. Then every month you can get a like master bedroom. You
mm,
can get 1,008. Then the smaller room 1,005.
mm,
Then those with the bathroom outside can get 1,002 to 1,000. So for 3 bedroom, maybe your
mm,
installment is 3,005. You can rent out 5,000 plus. So there will be a lot of
mm,
surplus there.
mm.
So and then you can get the local
Yep.
agent like us to help you manage. We will help you filter the tenant and help you manage the tenant.
Mm,
So you don't need like you just also very easy. Just leave it to us. We will help you handle all A to Z.
I see. Okay, in that case, how about Airbnb?
Airbnb is quite good also in the sense that Singapore there the hotel rate is quite high. Even for a boutique hotel
Mm,
is like already 200 Sing dollar. So
mm,
in Malaysia, 200 Sing dollar, you can already get 5 star, 6 star hotel already. So it's a quite good prospect also. But then
mm,
it will have a high and low lah. So like
mm,
maybe December, you will get a maximum like 1 bedroom, maybe 6,000. But then
mm,
non-peak season with no school holiday, maybe you can get about 3,000 plus,
mm.
plus minus like that. But then for
Wow.
Airbnb, there will be a lot of competitor. Then people will like, they just one management, then a few mates help you manage. Then they tend to like add in all the tilam to attract more Airbnb seekers come and stay.
Mm,
Then the maintenance fee, everything on so on will be bear by the owner. So
mm,
they just want to maximize the revenue. So maintenance wise will be bear by owner. I have a few customer which they come and see the show house with me. They started by renting the
mm.
Airbnb, but they came commented they after they survey everything, they feel that they still prefer long term because of this few issue lah. This one is a true feedback from my customer.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think I think I think for those of you guys who are watching and you have more questions, right? Especially which one to choose, I think the best is still to seek for advice up from the local agent specialist because from there you can actually get a lot insight lah. And I think Amani in this case have shared quite a lot example. So for those of you guys who are still with us, right? So thanks again for following us on this episode where we are covering on this J Square by Exim. So I hope that so far, right, Olga, because uh, so far I see that the 4 questions that we answer, right, is some of the hot topic lah that everyone is talking about. So if you guys find that this video is actually helpful and you think that you have more questions to ask, you can always follow us. Okay, you can PM us and drop us your question, and we'll be more than happy to feature that on our next session. All right. So before we end the session here, is there anything else that you would like to cover, Amani?
Mm, I would like to advise is do your own survey for all the location background of developer and
Mm,
what are they providing so that you write above the wave and not sink into it. That's all lah.
yeah,
So still the
sure.
location is very good consideration.
Thanks. I think yeah. So actually, anyone who like to have more opinion and advice, right? Feel free to actually click the link below. So we actually are going to share a link to our upcoming webinar, which Amani will be sharing more in depth about JB CIQ. So if you want to know more or you want to get the first access to the link, make sure to like and follow us lah. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us for this session today. Hope it helped you, and most importantly, do stay tuned for our next session. All right. So thank you everyone. Goodbye and see you guys.